Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. We have another great edition of Bring It in the House podcast show where we spotlight musicians, entertainers, artists, and leaders. Get your meal. Got a fantastic meal tonight. We were able to catch up with this lady. She's so busy, man. I had to tie a string and launch it like a lasso to slow her down. She's got a lot of skin in the game. I got mad respect for her. She's been in the magazine and publishing company for nearly 20 years now in the Texas and Louisiana area. Let's give it up for the lovely Miss Connie Morgan.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Very welcome. She is the editor, guys, the chief editor of AMPS Magazine Texas and AMPS Magazine Louisiana. Connie, woo! Yeah, that's amazing. It really is. And that's why I'm so glad to have you. I remember when you launched the magazine around 2009 in the Dallas area, right?
Yes, it landed in my lap. I got that phone call May of 2009 asking me, did I want this opportunity? And I jumped at it.
Yeah. I don't blame you. It was a good jump. You landed well. You landed well. Yes, yes. And since then you've had massive success. I mean, congratulations. Tell us
Thank
about
you.
some of the tell us about some of the artists you've covered in your magazines.
Um, wow. I've done a few celebrities. I've interviewed comedians like Rodney Perry, Coco Brown, um, actor and singer. It's not coming to my mind. It's not coming to my mind right now. Um, he played on Family Matters.
Oh,
Eddie is Eddie.
yeah, Eddie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't think of his
It's,
real name right now.
mhm.
But yeah, I've also interviewed some of Tyler Perry people. Veronica and Renee Lawless off of Tyler Perry, um, Palmer Williams Jr., and the list goes on and on and on.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, Connie, you've been putting in the work now as an editor. What does that look like? What are some of your duties as an editor? We hear that term tossed around, but a lot of us really don't even know what's behind being an editor.
Everything. Editor is everything. I mean, it's a big responsibility. It's a big hat to wear. Um, you got to make sure that you're interviewing the right people. You got to make sure that it's typed up. You got to make sure edit it, and you you have to make sure everything is the way it's supposed to be, especially when you are dealing with celebrities, because they are really, really touchy and sensitive about
Yeah.
a lot of different things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
How it's presented. It's got to be presented a certain way. I get it. Mm-hmm.
yes,
Mm-hmm. I get it. So, Connie, tell everybody what AMPS. I mean, I love that name, AMPS Magazine, because AMPS, can mean voltage and all that good stuff. High energy. But when you say AMPS Magazine, what does that acronym stand for?
AMP stands for American Minority People Succeeding, and
Okay.
it's powering communities.
Yeah, that's good stuff. That is good stuff, man. So, what do you see long term for AMPS? You're going to do this another 10, 15 years, or you're going to take it in another direction?
You know that old saying they say I'm gonna ride it till the wheels fall off.
Yeah. Yes, yes. Yeah, I hear you.
It's something that I love doing.
Hmm.
You know, we all have a gift, and I just think that is this was one of my gifts. You know, as growing up, I do photography too, and I do videoing. So growing up, I was never that kid that liked to watch cartoons. I guess my family thought I was kind of weird because I wasn't the cartoon person. I didn't start paying attention to the TV until the news came on. I just liked the way that they got to talk to a lot of people. You know, they traveled, um, taking pictures, taking videos, and that's something that I've always been into. Um, as a teenager, I got the opportunity to do my first article. My aunt and my uncle has a newspaper, and it's called the Monroe Free Press. It's not free; it's just called the Monroe. It's just called the Monroe Free Press. And my aunt, I used to. It's like 30 miles from the little town that I'm from, and I asked my uncle got tired of my aunt just giving me money when he's when I go there to visit on weekend. He said, no, make her work for it. So he gave me a little column in the newspaper, and he called it Columbia News. And my job was to do birthdays, church announcement, and get the little local news in my city, and that's how I earned my little money. So
And
that's how I started.
that's how it started. So, whoa, it goes all the way back. About how old were you again when this started?
16,
About 16
15, 16, yeah.
in high school. Yeah. Oh my gosh. And you're from Louisiana. Which part?
It's a little town called Columbia. It's like
Columbia.
30 miles outside of Monroe.
Monroe. Okay.
So,
Okay.
you know, when people say, where are you from? I just say Monroe because Columbia is barely on the map. So,
Mm-hmm. Well, that's okay. You know, they say great things come from small towns. Some of the most successful people they came from small towns.
yeah.
So yeah, that's so good. Yeah. So Connie, so you already told us how the opportunity landed in your hand. Is Amps magazine like a franchise magazine?
It
Because
is
I
a franchise because
it is. Okay.
I have Louisiana and I have Texas. Um, so AMP started, it actually started out of Shreveport, Louisiana
Mm-hmm.
by founders in 2000. Yeah, in 2000 with Roosevelt Wright III and Brandon Coleman. They started AMPS. They were the founders of AMPS in 2000. In 2003, Roosevelt became the sole owner of AMPS. And in 2005, he decided to sell it. And he sold it to Gerald Wright, who is now the CEO and owner of AMPS.
Alright. Yeah, I know because once I've seen on Facebook Amps Memphis and like a few other cities. I was like, okay, so this must be a franchise. Yeah.
There you have Cleveland, you had Indiana. Um, Indiana just corporate now. He just he does this online only. Um, and like I said, I have Louisiana and I have Dallas. Oh, and then Cleveland, he also has just started AMPS Detroit.
That's good. That's good. So that's opportunity out there for people, entrepreneurs that want to launch their magazine, huh? Or become
Yeah.
editor in their city, I
It,
guess.
to me, it's not considered as work. Like when I go to different events and I'm taking pictures and I'm doing videos or whatever, I don't really consider it as work because that's something I enjoy doing. Now the work starts after the fact when you got to do the editing and you got to do the cropping with the pictures and that's when the work starts.
Yeah. Yeah. So do you have to have a large team, Connie, to do this? You have to have a large team to be an
It's
editor.
helpful. It helps.
Yeah. Yeah.
It helps
Hmm.
because I do have physical copies
Hmm.
and it is online as well. So you have the different places that you have to go that I go or call around to ask, you know, is it okay if we put this publication here because it is a free magazine.
Hmm.
So you put it in, your little mom and pop shops, your radio station, your beauty shops, your doctor's office, your lawyer's office, whoever allows me to put the magazines in their place of business, that's what I do.
Okay. And do they have the opportunity to place ads and stuff, right, in your magazine,
Yes,
local?
we do advertising um, in the magazine. Like I'm in the DFW area, so I have a widespread as far as Fort Worth and as far east as Tyler.
Wow. Okay. That's that's pretty good. A good range.
It's a lot.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So when it comes to, I know you have so much to juggle, Connie. When it comes to your deadlines and all of that, how do you kind of prepare yourself to? I know deadlines are important. So what's your how do you execute all that, or what are some of your strategies, if you don't mind sharing?
I try I try to stay ahead of the game. That
Mm-hmm.
way, excuse me. That way I'm not behind on my deadlines, but it is a challenge because you have to have it in at a certain time, especially if it's going to be printed, because you have to have it in at a certain time because the person that's putting it together has to have time to get it back to you once they put it together for you to go over it to make sure that it's the way it's supposed to be. If not, then you're going to be going back and forth, and that takes a lot of time.
Mm-hmm.
And if
Mm-hmm.
you send it, if you do it wrong, and this happens, and you send it to the printer, and a picture is not to a certain standard,
Mm-hmm.
the printer will send it right back to you, and you are
Yeah. Back almost like back at square one,
yeah,
huh?
it's a lot.
Yeah.
So that's why it's so important to meet the deadline. Actually, it's important to be ahead before the deadline because you run into complications and problems like that. Because it's almost like me, if I say I need a certain type of picture, I, I won't do a grainy picture because I know that they're not going to put the grainy picture, the printer is not going to do that because then what that does is it doesn't look good for them, and then it's not looking good for you because you got these grainy pictures in there, and it just makes it look junky,
Yeah.
not professional at all.
Okay. Are you, well, now, with all the technology, do you use AI assist to help with any of your publishing?
I do not.
You do not. You said no AI, huh?
I don't. I mean, I know a lot of people use the AI, but me personally, I don't.
Yeah. Yeah. You want to stay, I guess, more authentic, right? It seems like
Yeah, I mean, just the way the way people are doing things now, um, it's just so much because you don't know what's real and you don't know what's fake.
that's so true. Yeah, it's true. So Connie, how do you go about, selecting your stories, and how do you know who to target? I mean, that's amazing to me how you do that.
I normally get my interviewers off of social media. If
Okay.
if I'm on social media and somebody is saying this about their child or an adult is doing something and it's in a positive manner, then I'll reach out to them.
Hmm.
I just started doing a kids magazine for the kids. I used to spotlight the kids
Hmm.
inside of the magazine, um, but now I just give them their own magazine, and so I'll pick somebody's child, and if they're under 18, I have to have the parents' permission. But if they're at least 18, then I'll just like go to them. Um, I've done. I just started doing this, so I did Louisiana. I've done one with Louisiana, and I've done one with Texas. And I'll just pick certain kids, whether it's sports or anything that they're doing
Hmm.
positive. And I started doing that to motivate the kids
Motivate them. Yeah. Yeah.
because if they do it, then other kids see them doing it,
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah,
then
yeah, they'll want to do it. Yeah.
so
Hmm.
you open up the magazine and all you see are the kids
Yeah.
and advertising. I
Hmm.
go to the basketball games, I go to the football games. So I'm not just an editor, I'm your photographer. And then I do have a photographer that helps me, you know, do the photo shoots for the um, for the cover.
Hmm. Hmm. You,
Uh,
you have covered a lot of stories, Connie. Is there like one celebrity or anybody that if you had your wish, like, man, I'd really like to do a story on who?
for a long time, I wanted to do one on Tyler Perry.
Yeah.
It was years ago though, but yeah. But now today, I don't know. It's kind of hard. I haven't really been just focusing on the celebrities here lately. To be honest, my thing lately is just the kids magazine. To be honest,
Yeah. That's good. That's real good. Yeah, because they need that. They need that, you know, like mentorship, kind of like, to help guide them. So that's really good. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it's you got a lot of smart kids out there, and then you have kids in these little small towns, you know, like you say, because a little small town I'm from, it's in the country, but you have a lot of talent there.
Count
Whether
nice.
it's basketball, football,
Mm-hmm.
art,
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah. Singers and yeah, musicians. Yeah.
And so what AMPS does is we highlight people that are seldom talked about. You
Mm-hmm.
know, we only do the positive things. I'm not saying that the big news stations or whatever only doing negative things, but we our focus is only on positive,
Yeah. Yeah.
nothing else. We let the other media handle all the other stuff. So like your local artists, go after your local artists and you highlight your local artists. You know,
Yeah. A lot of independent artists out there, the local ones, that a lot of people are not aware of, and you help bring them to the light. That's so good. Hmm. Hmm. So you've been in the game for a while now. What drastic changes have you noticed most in your industry? From back in 2009 versus now.
I noticed a lot of everybody is going to digital. They're not printing.
Hmm.
It just everything is online now.
Yeah.
So I went to this guy one time and I was trying to get him to advertise. It's when I first started, and he was like, "Do you have? Let me see your product." I hadn't printed anything yet.
Yeah.
So he said, "I tell you what, when you print and you have a physical copy, call me. I want to see it." My
Yeah.
very first magazine was like a little booklet. It was 8 pages. So I've gone from 8 pages to 34 pages, 36 pages.
It's so
That's
good.
that's it's I'm telling you it's hard. It's you
And
you never know what type of work is behind it. Just picking up a magazine and not anybody can do it
no, no, everybody can't do it. I agree.
because I almost quit a few times, but I had a couple of good friends were like, this, you've come this far, so why quit now?
Yeah.
And so, with that encouragement, and I just keep going.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, you can't quit now. You gotta wait. You gotta wait to see that rain, the harvest come in.
And it really makes you feel good once you sit back and you hold in that physical copy in your hand. I have a lot of people that used to say to me, well, everybody is going digital now. No, nobody's printing anymore. Yeah, I'm printing. I'm still printing.
Yeah, it's a few. It's quite a few. They're still printing. Yeah, yeah, I would say so. Mhm.
So what do you do when your internet go out? What do you do when you don't have a connection? You in the middle of showing somebody something on the internet, and it goes on a blink. Like when you were talking a while ago, it kind of froze up a little bit.
Uh-huh.
You got that physical copy in your hand, it ain't gonna freeze.
Yes.
It's not gonna freeze up. It's something that's sitting on your coffee table.
Mm-hmm. That is so true.
But yeah, I've had people, you know, you don't know what you're doing. It's a lot of backslash. I've had people try to steal it from me. You know,
Jealousy.
I don't know about that, but it's just it's I just couldn't believe people would do that. You know, you don't know what you're doing, you know, XYZ, whatever the case may be. And so I've just learned to ignore what people say.
Please, yeah,
Know,
please.
know that I've been doing this long enough that I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
You know, I've been doing it this long. I don't went from 8 pages to 30 something pages.
Yeah.
So
That's an accomplishment. That is accomplishment. Hey, keep doing it, doing what you're doing. You're growing. And I'm honored to have met you back in 2010. You gave my daughter an article
oh
and
yeah.
she was
Yeah.
singing your meal. Yeah. And I was trying to find that earlier. Connie has been in the game, guys. Look her up. You can go to her website. We got all that information right here. So she's like two magazines. So she's got Texas and Louisiana. So you want to go to either one, and just, hey, that's where you can reach out to her there or either here, either one. Texas.ampsmagazine.com or la.ampsmagazine.com, or you can just shoot her an email and say, hey, how do I get in your magazine, and she will definitely point you along the way. Any shout outs or anything before we go, Connie?
Yeah. I just would really like to actually give a big shout out to Gerald Wright, who actually gave me the opportunity to have this platform. To he made this possible. He picked up the phone and called me, say, hey, do you want to do AMS Dallas? And I'm like, you're sitting there and somebody like offering you a job and you don't want to seem so excited on the outside, but on the inside
Yeah.
you doing your little flips.
Yeah.
And I said, let me think about it. But in my mind, I was like,
Yep. Yes.
so I waited a couple of days and I called him back and I said, I'll try it.
Yeah.
And he was like, he would call and check on me. Well, how's it going? And I'm like, dude, I don't think I'm made for this. But after a while, and I started doing it, and even though when I printed my first little 8 pages, I held that little booklet because that's what it was in my hand, and I just cried, and I'm just like, and I asked them, a little while, and I said, out of all the people that why did you call me and ask me? He said, because I trusted you and I know you would take care of it and you would do a good job.
Amen.
So, it's just like little things like that. And then, I have a cousin in Monroe. Her and her boyfriend has this boutique. And they encourage me a lot. They motivate me a lot to keep going. Yeah, shout out to Sebastian's Boutique in Monroe, Louisiana. Um, people think that only your elders or people older than you can motivate you and encourage you. That's not the case.
Yeah, that's true.
Because she's about 10 years younger than me, and she is a real go-getter. They both are. They just go-getters, and they always encouraging me. You know, I call them and they give me a little pep talk, or So yeah.
That's so good. Yes, I know your mom. I know she's looking down and smiling at her wonderful daughter.
That was one of my biggest supporters.
Yeah, I know.
When I first started doing that, because she was, even though she was in a nursing home, she would hold that magazine up and she would tell anybody who would listen to look at this magazine.
Yeah.
So, and I have to thank my uncle Roosevelt and my aunt Josh, because that's where I got my first start, at the Monroe Press.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I got my first start, at the Monroe Free Press.
Mm-hmm. That's so good. Yeah. Any last words of encouragement before we wrap it up?
I would just say, go with your gut. Don't listen to what people are saying, because people will try to put negative thoughts in your mind to make you think that you can't do it when you know you can.
Yeah.
So the only person that can stop you is you.
Amen.
If you don't, and people tell me this too, if you don't try, you will never know.
Yeah. You got to see it through. Yep.
So if I'd have stopped,
Yeah.
I'd have never known I could keep going.
Yeah. That's so true. That's so true. Connie, thank you so much for being on the show. Ladies and gentlemen, if you missed this episode, don't worry. It'll be on our YouTube channel, Millhouse Entertainment. And of course, it'll be on the AMPS Texas and Louisiana channels as well. Right, Connie?
There you go.
Yeah, that's it. And this is Black History Month. We're celebrating, the success of wonderful, beautiful Black African Americans like Miss Connie Morgan and so many more. I want to say congratulations real quick to Miss Marva Brown Thomas. She was our winner last week on the Black History trivia. We're doing the Black History Month trivia. So we don't have a question tonight, but we will have one the next weekend. So you got to stick around when we do the next Black History trivia question. We thank you guys again for joining us right here, and we'll see you next time on Bring It in the House.